This DM brief brought to you by Warm Honey Social, helping you build a buzzworthy brand and online presence. To hear the rest of Michelle's story, check out the full episode.
Talk about that journey and how God, directed those steps that brought you from curiosity and a mission trip to being in the midst of that region.
So I think this journey is really important to talk about because you just hear like, oh, she's a CIA agent. Oh, she's just lived a really charmed and interesting life, and everything just poof happens so fast. Not not how it actually works. Um, it's interesting because I have seen people walk with God, and He's given them a vision for like, I'm going to be a lawyer or I'm going to be an engineer, and they knew what they were going to be, and they could just focus on it and get there. That's not how God has worked with me. He's worked with me in a very different way. And so that what the way He did it with me was, it was literally just one step at a time. Like this, just take this next step. And most of the time I had no idea where it was leading. And I would say, like, I don't get it. Like, I'm committing my life to you. Why isn't it more clear? Like, what you want to be? And so as I finally get into Georgetown, I had a hard time getting a job. It was as if, and I'm pretty certain this is what happened, God blocked every wrong door. Like, He didn't let me. I'm not one of those people that can accomplish anything on my own. He's like, oh, we're going to have a special relationship. And it's going to be particularly difficult because I will not let you go by accident down the wrong road. I will slam every door in your face. And great, thank God He did. I would have never gotten into the CIA had I gotten those 100 other resumes, worked.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of rejection. And then till finally in Georgetown, as I'm getting my master's degree, and the CIA came to recruit, as they do in the local universities. And I went and listened to the person talking about what it's like to live undercover, and I ended up putting my resume in that pile of like 500 resumes. So I was deeply surprised when I got a call back. And that's the only call I got, you guys.
Wow.
It was like, it was CIA or bust.
So you didn't have a choice.
Because everybody's like, how did you know this is what God had for you? I'm like, well, it was pretty obvious.
So was it kind of like at that time, like, fine, like, I guess I'll do this because there's no other option? Or was it something you were genuinely excited about, on the front end?
All the above. It literally was like no other door opened. I desperately needed a job. I got into the CIA, which is a very long process. Like, you don't just get in. You go through background investigations and polygraph and intellectual testing and this. I mean, so by the time you get in, like, if you make it through that gauntlet, it's a really good indicator that that's probably where you're supposed to be. So for me, it was just like, it was like, the heavens opened and the light shined down and the angels of heaven were singing. It's like, there you go. There's your door. That's it. Yep.
And sometimes in those moments too, like you said, your path, like God shut all the other doors. Like that can be frustrating for people because it's like, why is this happening to me? But it's like, in the end, it's so worth it.
So I tell people you cannot give up.
Right.
Yeah.
You cannot. If you get angry, like, I will admit I had moments where I'm like, why God? But I never turned on Him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just said, like, I don't get it. Please help. And I think it's so important for people to understand to not give up in the moments of pain, because if you hang in there long enough, He will reveal the next step to you.
To hear the rest of Michelle's story, check out the full episode.